Hey, Ronnie Daniels here again. It's the same day as the other video, April 23rd. So, told you I'd be back, and I said, well, you know what? Let me just go ahead and look inside this colony. So, we'll go ahead and look at this one, and depending on how it's doing, I might make a split. Let me move you because these bees are piling up. They want something's in their way. They just can't figure out how to get in. So, kind of hold them up. I'm gonna try to get you where you can see what's going on, and we'll take a look in there. My bee jacket has developed some leaks in the screening, so I need a new one, but hoping that if bees get mad, they don't find that opening, because there ain't nothing worse than getting a bee in the veil with you. Anyway, let's take a look in here. Like I said, I may make a split, we'll see. I hear bees at the top, so that's a good sign that we got some good activity going on. I think the box that I added after I made this split, when I made this split, I made it with 3 of these 5 frames because there were so many bees in that colony next to it. And I think I added this box here recently. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and look and see if they're drawing out comb and how they're doing. Again, I've told y'all before, I have a tendency to try to go real fast at everything I do, so always challenging with beekeeping to try to go real slow. But it pays off if you can. As far as I can tell, it's not windy, so I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. Let's see. Y'all know I don't edit videos and all that, so it is what it is, you know, not the best videos, but I'm gonna look down in here. There may be no reason to pull any frames on this one. Yeah, well, there is a frame that's got a lot of bees on it, so it's the end frame, so I'm gonna at least take a look at it. See what's going on with it, why there's so many bees on it. There's a bee in the way. I just kind of gently got it to move. Oh, by the way, I brought a nuke box over here before I started the camera, and I was in a hurry and walked over here, and a bee stung me on the arm for no reason. I did not have my veil on when I did that, but luckily it went to my arm, so I think I just walked by real fast, and one of them got surprised and got me. Yeah, I'm already got some getting mad here. Let me get a little smoke. Smoke around my face. Don't know what got it agitated, but there's just a lot of nectar on this one. That's all. I don't know what all you can see, but they have started putting nectar in there. I don't see any eggs or anything, which I wouldn't expect way up high like this, but it's good to see the bees have moved up like this. And I also see something at the top here I need to take a look at on this next frame. There's a bundle of bees there. I don't smoke them real hard unless they get testy, but I'm just kind of putting smoke across the top to keep them down. Alright, I was just looking, I saw some bees right there on that, and I was just curious what it was, so I pulled it. There's nothing on here except a bunch of bees. They probably straightening out the comb or something, because I may have gave them some used comb. We'll put that one back in. We'll put this one back. Again, I try to work real slow. If there's a bee that's in the way that might get mashed, if you go real slow, they'll move out of the way. But a lot of times I'm a little impatient One of the bees there just took a swipe at me and missed. Let me get these guys to move, girls to move down a little bit. Kind of a tight fit with those frames. I don't want to mash any. Alright, so let's see what's down on the next level. They're a little bit on the testy side. I'm not sure why. Put a little smoke to them. A couple of bees there taking a swipe at me but missed. I don't want to take this off tripod, so I'll let you look down in there if you can see. There's some activity there on the middle frame. And some few little testy bees there. I'm just kind of putting a little smoke across the top there to get on the move. Oh, I'll tell you another thing I've learned too. If a bee stings you, and a lot of times they don't, of course they don't immediately die. They'll keep trying to sting even though they left their stinger in you. If it lands back on you, go ahead and swat it and kill it. Otherwise, it's going to aggravate the crap out of you until it dies. Well, these guys are not in the best of moods, but I'm guessing there's not an extremely good nectar flow at the moment. I'm going to pull this frame to get it out of the way so I can look at some of the others. Here's some old raggedy comb I gave them just to give them something to do to try to fix it. Looks like they haven't. That's a plastic foundation you see under there. They haven't really, well, they may have repaired some of it, but they got some work to do there. And the middle frame, hopefully you saw there a second ago, had a lot of bees on it, so I'm going to take a look at that one. It looks like, well, I don't want to speculate too early. Alright, this is a deep box here with a medium frame in it, so you see them festooning in there. They're probably building some comb down low. Let me see if I can get some of them to turn loose here. Alright, this is just some brood on one side, and I cannot tell. Must be some eggs in here. But yeah, there's a lot of capped brood right there. You may be able to see right in there. And then there's some that's hatched out over to this side of the frame. I can't, it's so bright out here it's hard to tell, but there are some spotted capped brood still there, and some capped brood there that's pretty solid. And I'm guessing there may be eggs. No, I don't see any. But anyway, this queen, when I did this split and came back and looked, man, she laid wall to wall eggs. I mean, she was pretty phenomenal. And I don't know if I'm sure I probably told you this before, just to refresh your memory, a first year queen is phenomenal. Man, they lay like crazy when in their first year. So I hope you can see that. Got one bee mad at me. That's really all there is to see in this box. Don't know why they're so testy. There's been days I come out here and work them, and man, they're just as sweet as they can be. Not today though. Have not been stung yet, other than when I walked over here earlier before I started the video. Alright, so I'm going to put this one back in. when you go to move a box or you go to grab the other side of a frame, just take your finger and gently touch first to make sure you don't you're not mashing a B, because I've made that mistake quite a few times before. I learned, you know, touch first before you start putting your full pressure on it to lift it up. Same way when you go to move a box. You know, if you take a box off, just gently take your finger and touch first to make sure there's not a B there. Because even if they're not testy, if you mash one and it can sting you, it's going to. Alright, so that's all there is to see in that box. Man, I don't know why they're being so mean. Let's go look in another box. When I pulled that one frame out, or two frames, I could see a lot of bees down below. Being a little difficult here. There we go. I am going to put some smoke in there early because they're, like I said, they're in a little bit worse mood for some reason. Alright, a lot of bees here. Still don't see a lot of brood yet. I have to always tell myself, work slow, work slow, work slow. If you know, like me moving my hand, I don't know if you guys can see, moving my hand from one side of the frame to the other. If I move my hand across there real fast, it gets their attention. So you just try to move real slow. Okay, I got something pretty to show you here. Look at that. Wall-to-wall brood. Pretty much same thing on this side. Now that frame there might be a good one to make a split with. I just need to find some eggs, so I'm going to set that to the side. See what else we got here. Got nectar on this frame. And they haven't drawn that side out yet, but the other side's drawn out. I'm going to put it back and look at the next frame. It has a ton, it's the middle frame of the 5, so it has a lot of bees on it. I got bees in my way for my finger to go, so I just gently nudged them out of the way. I know you're not going to be able to see this, but there is eggs and larvae and some capped brood on this one. And I see very young eggs, and I see some larvae that's a few days old for sure. I know you're not going to be able to see it, but this can show you there. So this one, and it's got some resources too, got some pollen on the side. So this one would be a good one to make a split with. And I see a queen cell at the bottom. I'm going to look in there and see if there's anything in it. And there is. There's another, I don't know if you can see it right there. Let me try. Right there where my finger's pointing, there is a queen cell. And over here, whoops, there's one there too. Let me look in it and I'll get back to you. Cannot quite see. There's nothing in that one, but this one has something in it. Now I usually, if I do a split, I like to take the queen with me, because most of the bees are in the original hive, and it takes a lot of bees, at least that's my guess from experience, to make a good queen. So I like to try to take the queen when I make a split and let them make a new queen. In this case though, if I don't locate the queen, I may just take this frame right here and get some extra